Pranams. Today we are going to be discussing about what is death. That is the topic, and the verse that we are discussing for the day is Bhagavad Gita 8.16. Okay, BG 8.16. So let's go through this. I'm sharing my screen. It says, Hare Krishna. Abrahmabhuvanaloka punaravartinorjuna Mamupedya to Kaunteya Punarjanmana Vidyate. Anybody would like to read this?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Kindly scroll down, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Sorry.
Bhagavad Gita 8.16. Brahma bhuvana loka punaravartinorjuna mamupete tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you very much. Alright, so this verse says A Brahma Bhuvana Loka. You see the synonyms, it says A Brahma Bhuvanat means up to the Brahma Loka planet. Lokaha means the planetary systems. Punaha again, Avartinaha returning, Arjuna, O Arjuna, Mam unto me, Upetya arriving to, but Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, Punajanma rebirth, na, never, Vidyate takes place. So wherever the word tu comes, it means there is a contradiction or there's some kind of a negation of what is being said in the previous sentence. Okay, so the first sentence asserts that everybody who is going to take birth does not matter, even if from the Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka is the topmost loka in the material planetary systems. There are 14 planetary systems. Topmost one is the Brahmaloka. Even if you are Brahmaloka, Brahma Bhuvana Lokaha, does not matter. The lowest planetary system, Patala, okay, that we can understand. Patala, maybe sinful people are there. But Brahmaloka, right, the grandsire, right? The grandsire Brahma, Lord Brahma, his planetary system, even there, Punaravartino Arjuna, one has to come back, return back, Punaravartino, has to come back. But Mamupetya, anybody who takes the shelter of Lord Krishna, Punarjanma na vidyate. So, the main benefit, the reason why we are doing Krishna consciousness, the main benefit of Krishna consciousness or the main benefit of taking the shelter of Lord Krishna is that Punarjanma na vidyate. There is no more birth and death. As long as we don't take the shelter of the Supreme Lord, there is birth and death. As simple as that. So the different kinds of yogis is explained in the purport. All kinds of yogis eventually have to take to devotional platform. That is Bhakti Yoga. Doesn't matter if somebody is a Karma Yogi or a Jnana Yogi or Ashtanga Yogi. Everybody has to take shelter of the devotional platform. And then the purpose of all of these yoga systems is to finally take one to the topmost yoga system. That is Bhakti Yoga. And then even if somebody is taking to some yoga system like Karma, Jnana, Hatha, without Krishna consciousness, they will not get any significant result at all. There's no significant result at all. Just give me 1 moment. What is, sorry. Yeah, so without taking to Krishna consciousness, there is no significant result at all, right? And then it is explained here in the purport that as the persons on the earth are elevated to the higher planetary systems, people on the higher planetary systems such as Brahmaloka, Chandraloka and Indraloka fall down to the earth. So it is like a willow wisp, or it is like a merry-go-round. merry-go-round. You know, the merry-go-round, it's like the giant wheel. It's like the giant wheel. So giant wheel is like going up and then comes down. Now it's very thrilling when it goes up. When we're coming down, we feel very scared. The same thing is happening here. Okay. So different living entities. So we can take any bird, any body. We can get an animal body, and we can take the birth up to Lord Brahma. We can take the body of Lord Brahma also. That is also possible. The best of the human beings can become up to Lord Brahma, but not beyond that. So we can become Indra, we can become the demigods, we can become Lord Brahma, like that, or we can become animal also. So based on the consciousness, based on the consciousness. So we may even elevate ourselves to Brahmaloka, but here is the important point is, if it is said Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartinorjuna, generally it is said that Brahmaloka, anybody who goes, it is understood that they will go to the spiritual world. You see? It is like if somebody is just sitting next to the doctor, in the waiting queue, it is like it is understood that he will go next, isn't it? Somebody is waiting just before the counter. It is understood that next is his chance. So similarly, we understand, okay, Brahmaloka means, yeah, next he must be going to the spiritual world because he has gone to the topmost material planet. It is not the normal thing, Brahmaloka. It's not an ordinary achievement to go to Brahmaloka. So it should be, yeah, I must be able to go to spiritual world. But Mamupetyu kaunteya punarjanma nivatyate. Only if one is a devotee of Krishna, can even the person who is in Brahmaloka can attain the spiritual world. Otherwise, even the person who is in Brahmaloka must return to the earth if he is not Krishna conscious. That is about Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka, I said, is the topmost planetary system, and then they are very, very great souls. We have, Narada is there, right? We have Lord Brahma, Brahmarshi. Narada is called Brahmarshi. Great, great personalities. The Vedas will be there, right? The Puranas, the Vedas, all these will be in that assembly. Great, great sages will be there. So we are talking about that planet system above the Tapoloka. But if they are not Krishna conscious, they have to come back. Then what to talk about our planetary system? We are not in the Brahmaloka. This is not, this is Mrityu Loka. There is, repeated birth and death. I mean, every time there is a pralaya, our planetary system is getting dissolved. Brahmaloka is not. Okay, even during the end of the Kalpa, that is the day of Brahma also, Brahmaloka stays intact. Only at the end of the age of Brahma does it get dissolved, not generally. So what to talk about human life, human form of life, and this earthly planetary system that we are. So it is understood that everybody does not have, there is no exception at all. Everybody must take to the shelter of Krishna. Mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanma navidyate. Why we should take a shelter of Krishna? There's so many who are not taking the shelter of Krishna. A simple thing, if we don't take the shelter of Krishna, then we will be under the care of the material nature. Karmana daivanetrena jantur dehopapadyate. Means karmana daivanetrena. That means there will be some higher authority. That is the material nature. We will be under the hands of the very strict laws of material nature. As per the strict laws of material nature, will be very strictly evaluated for every good thing and the bad thing that we have done. For every good thing that we do, we'll get good results. For every bad thing that we do, we'll get suffering. And that's how it gets balanced out. So that's how we get to different animal species. Somebody can ask, how is it that we are going to this animal species? Okay, we understand transmigration of the soul. That is, tata dehantara prapti dhiras tatra namuhyati. Tata dehantara prapti. Okay, understand. After this deha is gone, dehantara prapti. Okay, we get another body. But how do we justify that we get an animal body? Okay, I will explain you. See, what happens is, every animal has got different set of senses, different type of senses. And for each animal it is unique. The combination is only five. We have only five senses, right? We have 10 senses totally. We have the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, and the tongue. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, right? And then we have the genitals and hands, legs, right? And hands, legs, genitals. That's it. Like, totally 10 senses. So only 10 senses and mind. So the combination of these 10 senses, there are 84 lakh species of life. There is so much of variety. Now, why is there 84 lakh species of life? So much of variety is because the living entity has so many varieties of desires. Because of our desires, for example, it is said that if somebody is very indiscriminate about his eating habits, it is compared to that of a pig, the Shastras. For example, the pig is very indiscriminate about eating. A pig is not at all strict about eating. It will eat anything, including stool. So for somebody who is not very strict about eating habits, the next lifetime is pig. That's what the Shastra is saying. Okay? Why? Why is the Shastra so strict? Why is Krishna so strict? Is Krishna strict? No, Krishna is not strict. Krishna is simply Anumanta. He is actually granting whatever the living entity wants. It is a desire of the living entity. The living entity is saying clearly, don't judge me based on what I eat. That's what the living entity is saying. We see so many people who say, you should not judge me based on what I eat. So yeah, okay. Krishna is very kind. He says, okay, take this body, pig body. You can eat whatever you want. There's no discrimination, there's no problem. I mean, even there is health immunity also. For example, we see the animals on the street, they can drink even water from the drainage, etc. Nothing happens to them. It's very surprising. But when we drink water which is not coming out of purity or RO filter, we immediately get sick. But the dogs, cats, animals, nothing happens to them. That is the immunity that God has given them. So it is God's kindness that God says, okay, Krishna says, now you enjoy. This is what you wanted. You enjoy. So there are different 84 lakh species of lives, 84 lakhs different types of combinations of these 10 senses, where the sense enjoyment of different things are different. One day what happened? Indra was cursed by his guru to become a pig. So now Indra is there as a pig, along with his pig family, with his pig wife, pig children. And then Lord Brahma comes and asks, okay, what happened to you? Why are you here? Please come. Please come to the Indra Loka. The management is not going on well. But Indra said, no, I am very happy here. This is my Indra Loka. My Indra Loka is there in this. So I have got a pig family, I've got my pig kids, and I've got some pig friends, and we are doing some pig meetings here. Right? So that is the standard of happiness of a pig. Right? So based on the consciousness that we maintain, we get the different species of life, 84 lakh species of life. There are 84 lakh species of life. And it is just simply, it's not a punishment, it is simply based on the desire of the living entity. The living entity wants to enjoy indiscriminately. The living entity wants to enjoy. We want to enjoy our senses. And Krishna is going to enable our enjoyment. But the standard of enjoyment is like that of a pig. It's like Indra has become a pig and he's not ready to come to Indraloka. The same thing, okay? Our spiritual master is saying, please come. Your father is waiting. You do not belong here. You have got a nice place. You are a son of a very rich person. Okay, God is your father. Krishna is your father. There's a very beautiful spiritual world there. There's so much of enjoyment there. Please come. The spiritual master is saying. But our situation is like that of the pig, like that of Indra. No, I'm used to this. I'm happy like this only. I don't want to come. Correct? So we should come out of this mindset, right? And understand that there is something beyond whatever we understand, whatever the happiness that we are perceiving is much beyond this. Okay, so and we should transcend to that. We should transcend to that happiness. Otherwise, we will have to stay back in this material world. So it doesn't matter which planetary system it is, we'll have to just stay back here. Okay, so we have to take to Mam Upitittu Kaunteya. We have to take to the shelter of Krishna. Ashraya. Shelter of Krishna means following what Krishna says. We have to follow what Krishna is saying. And then we can go back to Godhead. That's it. Okay? There is also one more meaning that we can take out of this verse is that the different demigods and these demigods also have got different planets. Prabhupada writes in one of the purports, the planets of the demigods are as perishable as that of these demigods. These planets of the demigods are perishable like the demigods itself. Demigods are powerful living entities. They have got so much of power because they are serving Krishna. They're doing some special service to Krishna. That's why Krishna has empowered them with some special powers. But nevertheless, they are living entities like us. So instead of worshipping these demigods and going to the planet of the demigod lokas, which are temporary, which is explained in this verse, we should worship Krishna, the source of all of these demigods. Right? The one from whom these demigods have got all these powers, right? That source we have to worship and go back to the source. We have to go back to home, back to Godhead. Okay? Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranams. Anybody wants to add something? Please go ahead and add. Any devotees want to say something in continuation with this
Prabhuji,
verse?
recently, of course, you also covered in chapter 6. We were reading Hiranyakashipu's chapter, so here very important point which we all need to remember. I'll just quote Prabhuji because the book is in front of me. Bhagavad Gita speaks of happiness that is transcendental to material conception of life. Sukham Atyantikam, which you actually stressed upon, Yatat Buddhir Graham Atindriyam. When our senses are purified of material contamination, they become Atindriya, transcendental senses. And when the transcendental senses are engaged in the service of the master of senses, Rishikesha, one can derive real transcendental pressure. So that means whatever happiness or distress that we are facing with the material senses is nothing but material concoction. So to get the real atindriyam, we have to purify our senses and make them transcendental senses. And they become transcendental only when we engage in the service of Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you're muted.
Hare Krishna, sorry. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you for adding that.
Thank you,
That is very
Prabhuji.
wonderful quote. Yes. Any devotees, you want to add something? Actually, it is a very interesting thing. Huh? In the Shastras, it is explained which animal body we will get based on what kind of activity. That is given in the Shastras, actually. I mean, if we dig the Shastras, it is very clearly given. So, I was thinking if I can do some research, I'll share that with you. So, it's almost like we have a zoo around us, right? So that's why we when we go to zoo we become very happy because we have a little bit of consciousness of all of these animals. It's these animals are not really different. They're just human beings who have been given a chance, but they didn't desire to be human. I mean, they didn't like being human, because human being means, again, there's so many rules. Human beings means you have to be civilized, you have to act like a human. That's not okay with them. They want to be indiscriminately animal. That's why they got the animal body. That too, there's so many flavors, different types of animals, isn't it? Yeah. So whenever we look at these animals, whenever I look at the animals, right? I mean, like, my faith gets very strengthened. I mean, it becomes very clear. Yeah, this is 100% true. This Krishna consciousness is perfect science, because we can very clearly see these animals are like more or less just like this, like us. They are also feeling pain. They also want to eat something. They also want to enjoy, but just in a different body. That's it. And why they are in that body? Because they want to be in that body. So we have to be very careful not to. We should not desire such body.
It's an inverted banyan tree, Prabhuji. We are not realizing that we are in illusion. We have to get out of it.
Yes,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prabhupada also quotes somewhere that, one who likes to swim
Yeah.
certainly gets a fish's body, and one who's little furious and likes to eat non-veg and all that, the Lord gives him a tiger or lion body, something like that. I had read somewhere.
Yeah, carnivorous body. Simple words.
Carnivorous, yes.
If somebody wants to eat flesh, right? If somebody likes to eat flesh, Krishna will give a body that, okay, why do you want to even cook, right? Have it very nicely. Why do you want to even have it as much as you want? You can have more. Why less? That is Krishna's mercy, right? Like that. Okay. Hare Krishna devotees, that was pranams. Let's stop here.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.